When we're songwriting, we should always know why we are making the songwriting decisions we make. We shouldn't have a bridge because we think that's required, and we shouldn't have a pre-chorus or a post-chorus just because we think that's the right thing to do. We should understand why we are making the choices we're making. So today, we're going to talk about the 3 main reasons why we might want to have a pre-chorus in our songs. The first main reason to have a pre-chorus is that the theme or the story of the chorus needs to be set up. So for example, if your verses are all about how great your love story was, and your chorus is all about, oh my goodness, I'm so sad without you, then maybe a pre-chorus could be that piece in the middle that explains, that was the past, our relationship was good, but then you broke up with me, now let me talk about how sad I am. So basically this reason is making sure the transition, story-wise, lyric-wise, is not awkward between the verse and the chorus. It doesn't make the listener think, wait, what just happened? Instead, it clarifies what happened so that the chorus makes sense in context of the verse. Another way to think of this is that it's just another chance to give more information. The second main reason to have a pre-chorus is that the transition from the verse into the chorus is way too jarring. A great way to fix a jarring transition from a verse into a chorus is to actually give it a pre-chorus. One of the ways a transition from a verse to a chorus can be really jarring or awkward is with a huge leap in the pitch range of the vocal. So if the end of your verse is in a pitch range significantly lower than the beginning of your chorus, say like an octave or an octave and a half, and to you it sounds jarring going from the verse straight into the chorus, a good solution can be a pre-chorus. So the pre-chorus can really split the difference in the pitch range between the verse and the chorus. For example, if there's an octave gap between the first verse and the chorus, you can make sure the pre-chorus actually is somewhere in between. This can allow the vocalist to have an easier transition, and it can make it less jarring by the time you get to the chorus, and instead it feels like there was a steady build up to it rather than it sort of coming out of nowhere. Now to be clear, I don't think that jarring is necessarily bad in going from the verse to the chorus. In fact, it has a certain emotional effect. Now that emotional effect might not work for a song that you're working on, but it also might work. So don't write a pre-chorus just because you think there's a huge gap in the vocal and you think that's wrong. It's not necessarily wrong. In fact, sometimes we can do it intentionally. I do it intentionally all the time. Besides the melody, a pre-chorus can actually help make the transition harmony-wise or chord-wise nicer as well. So for example, if your verse ends on a chord that sort of creates a weird transition into the first chord of the chorus, you can actually write a pre-chorus that intentionally sets up the chorus. In fact, you'll often notice that pre-choruses tend to end on a 5 chord and choruses tend to start with a 1 chord. Now this is usually done intentionally because the 5 chord to 1 chord cadence is a super powerful chord transition in music. The 5 chord desperately wants to go to the 1 chord, so it makes that 1 chord that starts the chorus super powerful and feel super at home. So the third main reason to have a pre-chorus is pretty practical. It's that your song would be too short if you didn't have pre-choruses. Maybe your story doesn't really get to be told in full because there's not much going on in the verses and there's not too much going on in the choruses, and your song ends up being about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes long. So adding a pre-chorus can add another storytelling opportunity and help make the song a little longer. And if your story feels incomplete, a great thing you can do is add a pre-chorus to give yourself more storytelling chances so that the story feels more complete and makes more sense. And then on the other side, if you have a really short verse, you don't really want the listener to hear, like, wait a second, the chorus is back already? It feels like I just heard the chorus 15 seconds ago. I know your chorus is killer, but it's not killer enough that people want to hear it every 15 seconds. So a pre-chorus can help sort of extend the amount of time between one chorus and another so that by time a chorus comes back again, people are actually wanting to hear it again. If you found this video helpful, be sure to drop a like, and if you're interested, be sure to check out my 10 different ways to start writing a song free guide. It gives you 5 different ways to start a song from a lyrical standpoint and 5 different ways from a musical standpoint. So whether you are lyrics first or a music first person, there will be 5 different ways for you, although I recommend you trying both methods. Sure, you can start songs from the same standpoint every single time, but soon you'll probably find yourself going creatively dry, and a great way to actually change it up a little bit and to be more creative is to start writing songs from different angles. Just like different guitar tones can inspire a guitarist differently, starting songs from different standpoints can inspire you differently. So be sure to check that out, link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will talk to you next time.